Welcome to Freezer Milk Podcast. I'm your host, Bridget, along with my husband, Chris. Weekly, we talk about being parents, what happened that week. It's basically our therapy session to vent out everything that we went through. We are boy parents. We have 3 boys, Enzo, Rhett, and Arlo. And if you'd like to get to know us a little bit better, you can check out our website, freezermilk.com, or follow us on Instagram at Freezer Milk Podcast. We also have YouTube and TikTok, Freezer Milk. Thanks so much for listening, and we hope you enjoy. Welcome back.
Let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you.
Oh my goodness. Are you slap happy tonight?
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm delirious.
Dude, Arlo, which you can hear in the background right now because he's just cooing and giggling, he, was terrible about going to bed last night.
Yeah, it sucked. We were up
Literally
late.
from 8:30 to 11, he fought it.
And that's not like him, though.
No. I was like, what is going on?
Well, it's kind of like Rhett today in his afternoon nap. He fell asleep for 28 minutes. And I looked at I hear him on the monitor after Susan had left, and he's just in there, he wakes up just frantic, mad. And he's been dumping his water bottle in his bed.
He's not dumping it. He puts it in his mouth and fucking spits it out.
Yeah,
he's like a fountain. He's like...
Now that I think about it, I think he learned that from me. Because we were out back, and I was being a fountain. I was drinking my water, and I was being a fountain.
Oh, God. You're to blame.
That's funny. But anyway, he's just... These 2 kids, man. I don't know. They're both going through some kind of mental leap, and they're just driving me fucking insane. I'm you have good weeks and you have bad weeks, and this week has just been a fucked week.
You texted me today. You're like, I need a vacation. I'm like, well...
There's never going to be a vacation with these 2.
Which kids are we taking? And what's your budget? And where are you trying to go to? And how soon?
What was my response, though?
Anywhere, no kids.
And for
forever.
free.
For free.
I'm like, No,
I think you talked about, Flagstaff, maybe. And I'm like, I started looking at, Airbnbs, and I'm like, Rhett's gonna break shit, Rhett's gonna break shit, Rhett's gonna break shit.
Yeah, you notice, when we, now, if you do, Airbnbs, how we used to, people, you normally have to look, is it pet-friendly? Now we gotta look to figure out if it's fucking kid-friendly, and if my kid's gonna break shit. I don't care. The dogs aren't gonna destroy it. The fucking kids destroy it. I mean...
Their Airbnb, if you guys ever listen to this, you need to come up with a filter that says, kid-friendly.
Kid-friendly Airbnbs.
Under 5 years old friendly, because that's a big difference between under 5 and over 5.
Well, it doesn't really matter. We always overpack anyway. We take everything from our house that makes our house safe with us. Remember when we went to, where we go? We went to Florida. Florida or Washington? No, we stayed at your cousin's place in Washington.
But we had him get everything.
Yeah, we ended up, I brought all the freaking cabinet locks. I brought, all the safety stuff. He went out and bought giant gates. I was like, these gates, I struggled to get over.
The baby gates
they were 16
30
feet
inches.
tall.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, these are fantastic.
I think they're the larger dog gates. It was great. It was fantastic. Because he has stairs, Made it a lot easier.
But I do need a vacation, though.
I know.
But it's got to be a vacation where we can bring Susan so she can watch the kids. Mm-hmm. And I can just sit by the pool.
It's still a lot. I'm how many nannies do we bring on vacation, and how many lotteries are we winning to do it?
It would be a lot for her to handle 2 of them.
Well, in a foreign environment, you need...
Yeah. This is controlled here.
Yeah. It's a lot. I was looking at you. I cannot... Okay, my fellow East Coasters, help me out here. This man has never heard of the Atlantis Hotel in the Bahamas. First off...
I thought it was lost.
No. All of my, girls that are my age watch, Mary Kate and Ashley. They have a whole, Atlantis movie where they go to the Atlantis Hotel in the Bahamas. Nothing. Not ringing a bell for you at all. You had sisters.
And?
Oh, my goodness. But I was thinking about it because, they have, it's geared for kids. $400 or $500 a night. But it's geared for kids. They have an aquarium. You can feed the fish. You can feed the, pet a turtle. It is geared as a luxury resort that has children in mind.
Is it a Great Wolf Lodge?
Yeah.
Or
not
Disneyland?
I don't think it's as cheesy.
Does it have rides?
No, it has a huge water park.
I don't want to go to Disneyland.
No, Disney World's way better.
I wouldn't want to go there either.
I mean, it's real crowded, but it's like magic.
Sounds expensive.
It is. It's very expensive. Everything's expensive.
It's always fried food and sweets. I'm good.
Yeah, it's a lot. Dude, I feel like Arlo is a different baby now.
Yeah, how so?
He went through his, like, I don't know, leap 3 recently, like mental leap from the Wonder Weeks. He finds things funny. He, like, giggles at stuff, smiles at stuff. Like, he not arbitrarily, like, he's not just there as, like, kind of an accessory anymore. Like, the first 2 months, I feel like he was very much, like, he's a normal newborn. The newborn haze, you know, the hazy phase of they're there, but they're very just, wherever you put them, they're pretty much content.
Yeah.
Now he's in the, like, I'm entertained by things, and I'm bored by things, and I like certain people, and I maybe don't like people that aren't my certain people.
I think I'm still stuck in that phase.
You know, like going to bed. Like, now all of a sudden he's like, wait, you're putting me in my bassinet. I know what this means, and I dislike it. Whereas before he'd be like, okay, let's go sleep. Sounds good, guys. Now he's like, no, I recognize this sensation and smell, and I see what's around me. I don't want that anymore.
Yeah.
It's interesting. But he also, like, giggles so much at stuff.
He is. He's definitely a smiley baby. I mean, unless he's really, really hungry, it's really funny to watch him. Like, it's like he thinks he's, like, starving, but he blows through, like, 30 ounces a day.
Oh, God,
and,
so much.
You know, he'll go back, he'll down 4 ounces, and not, like, it hasn't registered with him.
Because he drinks it so fast.
Because he drinks it so fast.
And he's on, like, a level 0. I don't understand it.
And his just desperate plea, like, as soon as that bottle's
that
empty.
That high-pitched cry.
Yes. Oh, it's like the worst thing in the world.
It's crazy.
And Rhett, I can't get to eat. He just snacks. That's all he does. I can't get him to eat a real meal.
That's super normal for toddlers, though. They're in the snacking age.
Can you fucking have something real? I try to give him chicken nuggets. I try to give him fucking corn dogs. He just won't eat it.
You're like, here's your little kid fair food.
I gave him some pork rinds tonight. That's what he had for dinner.
Yeah, at least they got protein.
Like, wow, bro.
It's very common, though, for toddlers to be, like, big snackers.
Yeah, he's just like, well, he doesn't have any problem eating dirt.
Ugh.
You
Fucking
know?
ridiculous. That kid.
I don't understand it. I just wish he was more... I guess I don't want him to be, like, hungry, but, like, I want him to, like, eat regular foods.
He will.
He likes avocado.
Remember for a while there, he didn't like it, though.
Yeah, he likes it now. He'll eat avocado.
He used to like it, and then for a while he wouldn't.
That was I put it off.
Bananas. He's not super into bananas anymore. Have you noticed?
No, he won't eat them. I put half an avocado on his plate for dinner or earlier this evening with his chicken nuggets, and he didn't eat the chicken nuggets. He ate the avocado.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Good for him.
I was like, all right, well, at least it's got healthy fats in it.
Arlo's got a lot to say tonight about it.
Yeah, Mr. Vocal. At least he can be part of the podcast.
He started doing it.
What was that? So
he,
what was
talks
that?
A lot
what was that? You sent me a picture today, because it kind of reminded you of us and how we are living our lives and working our lives, and
it was just of this couple I know that they are like wedding photographers. Hold on. So they are wedding photographers, and they have a 3-year-old and like a 6-month-old, and it was a picture of the dad holding the 6-month-old. I think he was awake. I don't think he was asleep. I think he was awake at their kitchen table, and he has the camera, the MacBook, like the other camera, the card readers, like everything. Like he's editing photos 110% while he's holding a 6-month-old. And I was like, this is us. Like, this is our life. And like, this is what being parents and like
working from home
look like. You know, like we find the time, whether it's doing this podcast right now, like we find the time when we can make the time, like not our 9-to-5s, but the podcast.
I could literally take a picture right now and you're holding the baby. So
right. Like I'm sitting here holding the baby while we're podcasting, but that's just our life. Like if we want to pursue things that bring us joy, that means that we do it while we have kids in our arms, or while we're heating up a bottle, or...
Yeah, because one of our kids gets up at 5 o'clock every day, and the other one...
Goes to bed at 11.
Goes to bed at 11, so... here we are. We don't have a whole lot of time to do the stuff we want.
Yeah. Well, it's like even tonight, you're tired because you got up with Rhett, because you're a rock star, and you got up with Rhett this morning, and you're like, hey, Bridget, like, I want to go to bed early. I'm like,
yeah, right.
Can we stay up till maybe 10 o'clock? Maybe? Because, like, this is the only time we get of just you and me and Arlo. Like, basically, a.k.a. just you and me time.
What do you mean? I get, like, 5.5 hours every night when we're sleeping.
Right. But it's important to me. Like, I want that, I'd rather be tired but be able to have some time with you versus not have time with you.
Yeah, that's great.
Only so many hours in a day, unfortunately.
Yeah. That's what they say. They keep us busy.
Babies don't keep. Grow so fast. Enzo's on spring break this week.
Yeah.
That was pretty fun. We did the library. He had a play date. Got to just enjoy, like, having him around.
It's tough, though, like, because he gets really bored.
He does.
And it's like, I'm working, you're working. It's...
Towards the end of the week, he did better about, like, reading his books, and he did the puzzle we got him for Christmas. The Impossible Puzzle.
Does anybody else's kids that are, under 10 years old have trouble self-entertaining?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just an attention span thing or what, but...
I was reading again today about his his cognitive test he took in first grade. Because someone had posted about, like, their kid, had taken it and was, like, getting into, like, the gifted and talented program at their school. And I was like, oh, yeah, let me look at Enzo's again. It's like, it literally says, like, hey... with where he scored in different metrics, like, he's gonna struggle. He does great with direction. He is, extremely good process solver, but he also can feel very defeated when he can't figure something out right away. Because, they're like, with where he's at, like, he's going to need potentially grade skipping in school or early entry into high school because of his, cognitive ability level or whatever. And it just reminded me, like, the way his brain is wired, coming up with ways to self-entertain is more challenging.
Yeah.
But, like, when we do make him a schedule for, like, summer break, we didn't do it for spring break this time, but for, like, summer break, we normally make him a schedule of, like, hey, from this time to this time, pick one of these 3 activities, and from this time to this time, do this, and from this time to this time, play with your brother, and... like, that kind of thing. He does really well with that. He follows that structure incredibly well. So I think we just have to kind of be aware of that and continue to try to provide him the structure. We'll have to do it, especially, like, because next year he wants to go virtual.
Yep.
So we'll have to kind of detail out a schedule for him throughout the day.
And we're all really going to be here all the time.
I know. It'll be good, though, because then you catch the cute moments, like when... Rhett got hurt and Enzo, like, came up and gave him a hug and, like, comforted him, and just
you caught that on camera.
Yeah. And, like, the love, like, is visible of Enzo, like, hugging Rhett, and he, like, nuzzled his head into Rhett's, and, like, the love was, like, visible in the image of, like, how much he was just like, you're okay, I love you so much. He was just radiating love to his brother.
Well, it was also... It was really cool to see Rhett and him playing out back, because they got to play out back quite a bit together.
Yeah.
And it's really nice because, we built a nice yard, and it's good to see them, actually interacting. And, I mean, there's a pretty good age difference between the two. So for Enzo to go out there and hang out with Rhett and be excited about what he's doing is pretty awesome.
Yeah. And he likes to do more stuff with the baby now. Rhett, like, today, Rhett was kind of into the baby.
Yeah.
It was cool to see.
Yeah, for the last, I would say, 2 months, the baby hasn't existed. Other than getting mad at Mom for not putting the baby down and breastfeeding him. But, But,
like, now Arlo will giggle if Rhett does something that Arlo finds funny. Like the other day, I like cleared my throat, and that's something that Rhett will do to mimic me. Is I'll be like, I didn't realize I do it until we saw Rhett doing it, and you're like, oh yeah, Bridget, you do it all the time, and I go like, like that, and so Rhett was walking around.
Mocking you.
And Arlo, he did it near Arlo, and Arlo thought it was the funniest shit he'd ever heard, and he like belly laughed so hard, and Rhett looked at him, and I was like, Rhett, do it again, and Rhett did it again, he belly laughed again, and Rhett got the biggest smile on his face of like, we're interacting, like he's reacting to something I'm doing. That's so cool.
Because the last couple, the beginning few months of Arlo's life, he hasn't been reactive to any of that kind of stuff.
No, the newborn haze phase.
Yeah.
And like tonight, I was like bouncing Arlo on my lap, and he found it hilarious, which is new because he has not previously thought that stuff was funny. And Rhett was watching, and Rhett started like pretending to be bouncing and giggle, and then that got Arlo giggling. I was like, oh.
Those are the special moments.
They also cry together though. Rhett got mad because he like bit his tongue when he was like chewing. And so he like did his like whale cry, and Arlo heard it, and Arlo was like, ah! And then he started wailing like, I don't know what's wrong, but we're upset, so I'm gonna be upset.
Yeah, you hear them getting to going like together, like one of them will start crying, and then the other one starts crying because they like to try and like match pitch. Oh, it's exhausting.
It's interesting from like a chemical makeup when you think about it though. Like all it is, especially for Arlo, is it is a like chemical reaction of. There is distress, so I need to alarm distress.
Yeah.
Because I hear distress, that means this is distressful. Like, hello, save me, somebody. Something is very wrong. Even though it's not with him, like, they don't know that yet. From a biological standpoint, they just know, I need to sound alarm because I have heard distress in the area.
Which is becoming more and more frequent, if you hadn't noticed.
That he sounds alarm.
Yeah, well, no, I mean that they engage in the same...
Yeah. I heard the other one, they're upset.
Crying fits.
I'm going to let you know, someone's upset, and I'm upset that they're upset, and you're not helping them, and now you need to help both of us.
Yeah.
It's funny. What were you saying today about... So we live in Arizona, if you're a new listener, and Arizona used to be extreme hot summer and like very mild winter. And this winter into March has been
rainy.
Rain and
cold.
rain and more rain. And like today you straight up were like, I can't wait for it to warm up.
I know, and I never thought I would say that because I've always worked in the trades and I was always in the field.
And you always hated
the heat. I hated the heat. I hated the summer times. But now I'm like, man, it's like even going outside, I'm like, yeah, it's cold out here. It's not very comfortable.
It's crazy though. Like the cool part about it is it's causing Arizona to be in what's called a super bloom. And so like the wildflowers, I feel like I sound like my mom when I say this because she's like a big wildflower person, but like, man, it's stunning. Do you love it?
You literally pulled off on a freeway to get pictures.
I pulled off on the side street.
You're one of those people.
I pulled off on the side street, not the freeway. I was on Meridian. But do you like when we drive down the highway that has the majority of them? Do you ever just look at them like, man, this is so beautiful?
Yeah, I mean it's just fields of yellow and purple.
Yellow, purple,
not
orange.
Not something you normally see here.
No, normally it's brown and more brown, and now it's just stunning. I love it. Enzo was even excited to like check them out. I took him with me to see them, and he was like super excited about it. Speaking of, Enzo and I got to have a couple dates this week.
Yeah.
On his spring break.
Yeah, did he appreciate any of them?
Maybe. I didn't know if in the moment he did, but when he went to go back to his dad's, he told you that he was going to miss us.
He sure did, and that is the first time I have ever heard that. So I'll take it.
It was huge. Why you gotta spit up? This child spits up so much. I swear. Crazy, sir. Yeah, it was such a big deal for him to say that because he hasn't said that before. And it's, always kind of been... You had some great dad moments this week, though. Like, you really did with him. Like the one morning on the weekend, when he came out and seemed like he was down, and you were like, hey, bud, like, what's wrong? And he started crying, and he was like, nothing. And what did you say to him? You're like, hey, like, I'm here or something.
I just said, hey, man, like, I understand. I said, hey, if you need to talk, like, I'm right here. I'll listen to you. Just let me know.
That made me, when you told me that, man, I was so proud of you. Like, it made me, like, I got teary-eyed. You know, hormones are partially to play. But I got teary-eyed about the fact that I'm like, you're such a fucking good dad and a good bonus dad to Enzo. And, like, I am so fucking lucky. And Enzo's so lucky. And so is Rhett and Arlo to have you. So he ended up talking to you about what was going on. And he was really good about expressing that he was upset about something that had happened when he was away from us. And you challenged him to, like, address it and let the person know, like...
Yeah, I just told him to face the individual.
It was all video game related.
Yeah,
like, let's just preface that, like, it's video games.
It was something very small, like, in the grand scheme of things, but to him it was big.
Yeah.
And, you know, our lives as adults are so consumed by a lot of big things that we don't really pay attention to our kids' small things. And those small things add up over time. So I just said, hey, you know... I think it's important that you confront this individual. It was nothing bad. And confront them and let them know
that you were bummed out
about it. And because they don't know. And if they don't know, they can't help you. They can't help fix it, you know? So I just challenged him to do that. And I said, it didn't take him long to come around. He finally was just like, you know, I was just, I'm upset about such and such.
Which is such an improvement.
And I was like, man, that's awesome because, like, we were so used to him internalizing everything and not being so
he's getting a lot
in tune
better
with his emotions, you know.
I think that is like a direct reflection of his therapy for sure.
Yeah, I just hope he continues on that, that trajectory, and I just hope he continues to open up. Like, as he gets older, it's going to get tougher and tougher because he's going to want to shut down. Yeah. That's what all guys do. I mean, we shut down. So
girls do.
No, I can always tell when there's something wrong with you.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't have a good poker face.
But I don't know. I think it's been a very eye-opening week. I always like part of me always regret. Like part of me always like before the week or before we get the long weeks like that are like full breaks and stuff like that. I'm always like, oh,
you're
God. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, God, yay, I got to work. They're out of school. And I'm not looking forward to this. This go around, it was a lot better. And again, I think that's just coming with age and the fact that he's self-sufficient for the most part. And he's very helpful to the two little ones. So.
And I was able to, being on maternity leave, I had the ability to like take him and Arlo out of the house.
Yeah, so they weren't stuck here, and it gave me some quiet time.
Yeah, because I tried to always time it when Rhett was napping, so you could have just, like, legit peace and quiet.
Yeah, because Rhett's not quiet. No. The most vocal kid we have.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. It's I think every year's going to be different. These kids are going to grow it. They're going to go through their different phases and their different things, and we're just going to have to juggle that. And that was one thing that we were discussing is that all of these kids are different, and we can't parent them the same. I mean, because... the way that Rhett responds to...
and we've talked about it with my parents in the past. Like, my parents legit did not want to tweak their parenting style to my sister and I individually. They were like, no, like, you're both going to fall in line to our parenting style, and that's fucking it.
Yeah.
And we've talked about how, like, we can't be that way. Like, that's not fair.
Yeah.
And it's super apparent now with, like, how different the kids are and how different they respond to things.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, guys, appreciate it. This one's getting cranky. Thanks so much for tuning in. We will talk again next week.
Have a good week and hug your kids.
Yes.
Thanks, everybody, for listening. You can check us out at
freezermilk.com
or Instagram.
Freezer Milk Podcast.
Until next week, guys. Thanks.
Don't forget, parenting is a trip. We are all here on the journey with you together. Thanks so much for listening.